What's up, everybody? Okay, Ruckus versus a Grom. Now, let me start off by saying that I have a soft spot for Ruckuses. Like, I love Ruckuses. Every time I go to a bike meet or a ride out, that's the first thing I go and walk up to. It's a modded Ruckus. What are you doing, bro? First things first, let's get some gas. You're used to doing that when you put in gas. Nope. More receipt. Nope. If you're a type of person who doesn't mind about speed, who can go about 35 to 45 miles per hour, modded, luckily if you go to 50, or if you do go to 50, it'll be really expensive. Yeah, speed is not an issue and you just want to go gas and go. It's hard to not have fun on a Ruckus. You'll be able to go to enjoy the environment a little bit better. If you do need that extra speed, yeah, maybe the Ruckus is not the wisest choice. But yeah, you look at stretch kits, the stock 50cc is not fast. A modded Ruckus, which is like really heavily modded, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, and then even then you're barely gonna be cracking like 45-50 miles per hour, and that's a slow climb. But if speed's not an issue, yeah, they're crazy fun. It's ridiculously fun to ride a Ruckus. The gas mileage is the same. You're gonna get 100 miles to the tank on a Ruckus, and you're gonna get 100 miles to the gallon on a Grom. Both the same. The difference is the Grom, you're gonna have a gearbox, and you're gonna be able to go up to speeds of over 50 miles per hour. If you don't like to mess around, if you just like to cruise, I mean, you can do it on both bikes, but the Ruckus is a little bit more fun to do that, just for cruising. If you're into modding, you really want to make a Ruckus your own thing, the Ruckuses are super dope to mod yourself. If you do choose to go down the Ruckus route, you better save up a lot of money, man, because these things are really expensive. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, man. Like, everything for that, you want to stretch it, it's $100. Even for a cheap stretch kit that'll do like a 9 like almost a 10-inch stretch, it's gonna be like $100. Lower headlight, $100. Like, everything for that thing is gonna be $100. It's gonna be definitely one of the most expensive builds you're gonna do. You're not gonna get that money back. Like, people try to sell the Ruckuses, they try to sell them for $4,000 to $5,000 when they're already all hooked up. Dude, you see them on there for months. Now, what I will recommend, that people, they'll hype up their Ruckuses by doing the GY6 swap, when you could just buy the clone Ruckus, or aka the Chinese Ruckus. You can buy those for like less than $1,500, and that is the exact same motor. And then even then, you're gonna spend, let's say, upwards about $1,500 to do the GY6 swap in a Ruckus. It's like the mounts, everything, not counting the mods you want to do to the motor to make it go faster, because stock GY6 is not that fast. Definitely like 150 cc's is a big step, but it's still not as fast. That people would buy the GY6 motor, which is the Chinese Ruckus motor, and they'll put it into the real Ruckus. So it's like, to me, you might as well just have gotten that Chinese Ruckus, just strip down whatever you want from it, mod that, and then you'll have that already for way cheaper and for more fun. But for cool points, if you have a Ruckus, you know, they're always gonna say that it's a fake Ruckus and blah 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 blah. But if you're gonna stick to the 50cc motor, go OG. It is a little bit cooler, in my opinion, without a doubt. If you get a Ruckus and you just get on it just to go, like stock Ruckus, go have fun with it, it is ridiculously fun. You can find them for like let's say maybe around $1,000 or so if you get lucky. Maybe you'll find some people trying to sell it for a little bit higher, but for $1,000 is more than fair. Even if it's not running, dude, it takes almost nothing to get them running. And plus, people are always selling that motor for like dirt cheap. Having a Ruckus versus a Grom, because if you're like me, you're looking out for, like, you're just coming into the bike world and you come from modding cars and you want something that's cool, small, and that you can kind of fix on and just have fun with and then learn. The Ruckus is amazingly good for mods. Crazy mods out there. I mean, the Grom too. The Grom, there's a bunch of mods, but honestly, if I would have chose from the Ruckus to the Grom, because I've owned a Ruckus before and I have gone through that route, I probably would have picked the Grom first. If you're trying to build a Ruckus just for maybe your own personal stuff, like you maybe like riding on weekends, you don't need it to go back and forth, I mean, the Ruckus might be something you might be interested in. But I remember I would have the Ruckus and I would be cruising around and it'd be fun because you're just gas and go and just cruising the street. But I remember seeing videos of other people on their Groms, where I'll go to little ride outs and stuff, and then I would see people in the Groms doing wheelies and jumping stuff and just really messing around with their bike, and it kind of made me be like, oh man, I wish I could do that. But the Ruckus is just the cruising, it's just a scooter. I mean, Grom is technically a scooter too, but I mean, there's so much stuff you can do, activity wise, you can do. And I guess that's more what I was into, more just messing around with my bike and learning how to ride and do light stunting and daily riding. Because on the street, this thing is perfect. When I used to daily the Ruckus for a little bit, I almost dailied that thing for, I want to say for maybe 6 months, or maybe even 8 months, and that was slow. It was really slow. I mean, if you get cut off in the Grom, you already know it's kind of bad. But when you're on the Ruckus and you get cut off, it is ridiculously scary, because you're going like 40 and then some angry driver is going like 60. And I've had some real assholes, man, when I would ride the Ruckus. But that's the only thing I think. It's just, you're 50 cc's and you need that little bit of extra power just to get out of trouble, and it is not there. So you ride it and then it's just like, you have to just keep building up the power, just and it's automatic, so it takes forever to get there. But is it fun? Definitely, man. They're cheap. Mileage is great. These things aren't fast either, but faster than a Ruckus? Yeah, definitely. But I do have a soft spot for Ruckuses. I love Ruckuses, but would I build one ever again? I doubt it. Those things are crazy expensive to build. They're hard to sell, but those OG people who do keep the Ruckuses, I gotta give them props, man. But when we do go to ride outs, and then it is one of those ride outs where it's 50 cc's and all that stuff, it's hard, man, because mostly in ride outs you go slow, but you're just trying to keep up with regular traffic. It's kind of hard on the Ruckus because you're not in control of your own power band, so it's just like you just kind of have to use your momentum, and you just got to keep going. I miss it. I miss my Ruckus. But if you're thinking about getting a Grom or a Ruckus and you can't decide, as much as I love the Ruckus, I'm gonna say just go with the Grom. Because the Grom, you're able to stretch it, you're able to do a lot of stuff. The same thing like the Ruckus, build it. But being able to be cool with keeping up with just the street traffic, it's all good. Because I mean, if you could find a Ruckus for a pretty good price, like a couple $100 or a little bit lower than $1,000, it might be worth the trouble just to pick it up, just because you know it's pretty good price. I mean, why not? If it's a couple $100, why not? But yeah, anyway, guys, I mean, I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of experiences. riding the Ruckus versus the Grom. Honestly, if you're thinking about it, just go for the Grom. It's not that much different if you're gonna buy them from dealer. You're gonna spend a whole lot more money going for the Ruckus. I mean, you're gonna have smiles, but I think you're gonna have way more smiles on the Grom. It's just enough power to play with. Just enough power. But yeah, if you can, leave a like, you know, subscribe, and then I'll catch you on the next video.